Are you ready for the new women's basketball coach?
Coming up, we will introduce you to the new woman in charge.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Brittany Brown.
And I'm Courtney Cam.
The new women's basketball coach, Yolette McPhee-McEwen, spoke in her first press conference for the Rebels earlier today.
SportsWatch reporter Maddie Bierster is in the studio to tell you more. Maddie.
Thanks, guys. At the press conference, the new women's basketball head coach, Yolette McPhee-McEwen, was introduced and discussed her expectations for this upcoming season.
The people that I'm gonna bring in here and the support that we have is going to put us in a situation where you will be able to witness the process of growth.
The women's team ended the season with a record of 12-19, and they're looking to improve on that with the new head coach next season.
Thanks, Maddie. Barring weather delays, the annual Grove Bowl will take place tomorrow. SportsWatch reporter Tori Rees explains what to expect this year and if students are going.
With spring training wrapping up for the Ole Miss football team, it's time for them to put in the hard work for one big finale, the annual Grove Bowl between the offense and defense. Head coach Matt Luke says he's excited to see the young guys improve throughout the game.
I said at the beginning of the spring, you think players, not plays. You really want to make sure those young guys get reps. I'm really looking at Royce Newman, Ben Brown, Ross Donnelly, the young guys, the young linebackers. You really want to see those guys take a step forward in their fits, because as those guys get better, our team gets better.
Although the team and players are fully prepared and excited for the game, the fans aren't up to the same level. Attendance hasn't been particularly high, and Ole Miss student Chris Pfeiffer says the stakes aren't high enough for him to attend.
I didn't know it was happening, first of all, and made other plans. Also, it's the spring game, so I don't really put that much stock into a scrimmage that isn't going to have ramifications on the season.
Perhaps it's because former star players like Shea Patterson departed in the offseason, or the NCAA allegations hitting last fall, but publicity for the game hasn't been high. Pfeiffer suggests more PR for the event to get the student body out there.
You got to get the word out better. That's the main thing, because, a lot of people must just not even know about it, because I haven't heard anybody talk about it. So get some kind of Twitter campaign, social media out like that. Maybe put a couple posters up. I haven't even seen little things like that done for the spring game.
I'm here outside of Von Hemingway Stadium, where this year's annual Grove Bowl will take place this Saturday at 1 p.m. Now, admission is free and open to the public, so you can go through these west gates here to go cheer on your football team. Tori Rees, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
It is that time of year again. Seniors are anticipating graduation, their future plans, and saying goodbye to the place that has been their home for the past 4 years. Anna Polakovich takes a closer look at how students are preparing for life after Ole Miss.
Graduating senior Sydney Kirkpatrick is ready to leave and attend nursing school in the fall, but can't believe her tenure at Ole Miss is coming to an end.
Well, it's just crazy to me, because I feel like the last 4 years is just it feels like I blinked and it's just completely here.
Post-graduation plans have snuck up on seniors sooner than they expected. The Career Center here at Ole Miss helps graduating seniors with the job search process through resume critiques and interview preparation. They also supply the tools graduates need to succeed once they cross that threshold.
Tips about being professional at work, also salary negotiation. There's lots of different things after you get a job that we can help students with as well. So we kind of from beginning to end.
Sydney Kirk is extremely proud of where her hard work the past 4 years has gotten her.
So it was a really crazy and stressful process the last 4 years, but I'm really excited to be done with it all and just move on to the next thing.
Students have been anxiously awaiting their commencement for the past 4 years. Convocation will be here at the Grove Stage Saturday, May 12th at 9 in the morning. Anna Polakovich, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
April showers are here, affecting Oxford in all forms. NewsWatch reporter Kirsten Faulkner takes a deeper look into how the rain is troublesome for some landscape services.
Landscaping technician Shay Bayard has been dealing with a multitude of problems this season due to the changing weather.
So everything we're doing right now is preparing for graduation.
Graduation is only a few weeks away, and the landscaping services is struggling to fix all problems posed by an immense amount of rainfall and cold weather.
This is the first winter, spring that we've actually had a winter here. Normally temperatures in 50s, mid 50s, even hit 60s some weeks. But with the cold weather, it's just slowed our production down.
Rain has been affecting the landscaping services this season. However, they are working hard to prepare for graduation in May. Students are enjoying the fresh flowers that are blossoming across campus.
The weather's been a little more rainy this season, so it's been kind of different since I'm a freshman. Walking in class to the rain's been kind of dreadful, but it's really pretty on campus. The flowers are starting to bloom, and so it kind of lifts my spirit just a little bit.
We think of ourselves as a recruiting tool for future students coming onto campus. We pride ourselves in having nice green grass, nice flowers, nice shrubs, and we really try to create a wow factor as potential students come onto campus and their parents see it and say, "This is a nice, beautiful place. This may be where we want to send you."
The employees at the landscaping services are hopeful the weather will turn around for a bright spring. Kirsten Faulkner, NewsWatch, Ole Miss.
Mississippi is the first recipient of a special grant opportunity offered by the National Endowment for the Humanities. The $30,000 grant will fund the Mississippi Writers Trail, and it will tell the stories of authors such as William Faulkner and Eudora Welty. The Mississippi Writers Trail will be similar to the Blues Trail and the Freedom Trail, and the Mississippi Humanities Council hopes it will increase heritage tourism. The first markers will be unveiled in Jackson this August, with more than 20 planned around the state, including one right here in Oxford.
The Mississippi Supreme Court ruled in a case yesterday involving in vitro fertilization and same-sex marriage. The court ruled yesterday that a woman has parental rights to a 6-year-old boy born to her ex-wife while the two were married. Christina Strickland hopes to win 50-50 custody of Zayden Strickland, who bears her last name and was born by her ex-wife Kimberly Day. The case challenges a lower court decision that an anonymous sperm donor still had parental rights. The case has been watched closely by gay rights activists and groups aiding in vitro fertilization. Contractors working on the West Oxford Loop are going to cause road closures for most of next week. Anderson Road at the intersection of West Oxford Loop will close on Tuesday and remain closed through Thursday. Traffic from Woodlawn area neighborhoods and beyond will be able to use West Oxford Loop as normal. Traffic from Anchorage Road, Goose Creek Estates, and the Retreat will need to find alternate routes.
Do you travel frequently on Chucky Mullins Drive? Traffic may slow down. A section of Chucky Mullins Drive south of Highway 6 will close on April 16th. The closure will allow for ongoing construction of the new recreation facility and transportation hub. The university says the Outbus will still offer transportation in the area. Chucky Mullins Drive is not expected to reopen until January 2019. Many organizations on campus participate in philanthropic events throughout the year.
This week is Sigma Chi's annual Derby Days. NewsWatch reporter Annie Sharp spoke with some members of the fraternity to get an update on how it's going. Annie?
Thanks, guys. Yesterday, I spoke with a Sigma Chi president and co-chairman of Derby Days to get the details on how the week is going. There have been changes made to the event this year, so I wanted to know what was different.
This week is Derby Days. It's our big philanthropy week, and it's a week based on service.
Sigma Chi, a fraternity on the Ole Miss campus, puts on Derby Days once a year to raise money for different philanthropies.
Well, Sigma Chi Derby Days is a full week that we're trying to get every single level involved. We're trying to get Ole Miss involved with the William McGee Institute. We're trying to get the state involved with the blood drive, and then we're trying to get Oxford involved with the canned food drive. So to me, it's just something that we can do to give back to the community and the community that helps us out so much. So
only one organization can win the money raised from the week-long charity event.
I don't want to give too many hints because the week is based on participation in these organizations, and they compete on a service-based scale to see who can get the most points. And at the end of the week, the winner of the Derby Days receives a check back into their philanthropy. So it's a good little incentive to hopefully help get people involved. And we're doing well right now. We're getting the word out. The biggest thing for us is to make sure that we help people understand that the new South Rec Center on campus across from Whirlpool is going to house one of the top alcohol and drug abuse centers in the nation.
At this point in the week, we have a cook-off on Friday, and the ticket directly benefits the William McGee Institute. So if you get that money, buy the ticket, that money goes directly to it. Just come, show out, bring all your friends.
The event today just ended at 5 o'clock, so make sure to check their Instagram page to see who won the money for their philanthropy. And make sure to stay connected for more updates to come. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Annie. Coming up, find out what Facebook is doing to combat election meddling.
But first, Wendy Crocker has your first look at the current conditions.
Thanks, guys. We will see thunderstorms this weekend with warmer temperatures ahead next week, reaching 78 on Thursday with high humidity following. Moving forward to our radar image, we do see some rain moving through Oxford, and that will continue late into tomorrow. Stay tuned for my extended forecast to learn more about the upcoming thunderstorms.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I know, I
was.
heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Yes, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Could there be a trade war between the U.S. and China? The Trump administration is considering more tariffs against Beijing.
President Trump is raising the stakes with China.
You have to go after the people that aren't treating you right.
In a statement yesterday, President Trump said he has instructed the U.S. Trade Representative to consider whether $100 billion of additional tariffs would be appropriate. Some like this tough talk.
Him up for trying to show some leadership. He didn't create this. China created this. Don't forget that.
You can't have free trade with a country that cheats and steals.
But others say saber-rattling with China isn't smart. Nebraska Republican Senator Ben Sasse is among those upset with the president, saying this is the dumbest possible way to do this.
This is fine for a schoolyard, but where there are no adult supervision, where there's no adult supervision any longer, this becomes incredibly dangerous.
Earlier this week, President Trump announced new tariffs on $50 billion worth of Chinese goods imported into the U.S. The tariffs would only take effect after a public hearing in mid-May at the earliest. But Beijing responded with its own tariff announcement on $50 billion worth of U.S. goods. And this morning, China announced new comprehensive measures would be taken in response to President Trump's latest threat.
There are smart ways of negotiating, and there are stupid ways of negotiating. You don't want to put yourself in the position of having to basically lose your credibility if you have to back down.
Today, stocks tumbled as trade tensions between the U.S. and China increased. The Dow dropped 2.3% after President Trump threatened a confrontation with China over trade. Yesterday, the president said that he was considering tariffs on $100 billion in Chinese exports, which is triple what the U.S. is already planning. China is also threatening tariffs on $50 billion worth of goods, including cars, planes, and soybeans. Today, Facebook announced that all political ads on the site will be labeled to show who paid for it. This feature will combat future meddling with political opinions. Russian groups used Facebook to influence political opinions during the 2016 election. This new feature will also require the people running the ads to verify themselves and their location. The labeling will start later this spring.
Beginning on April 26, you will no longer be able to take that long-awaited vacation to the Philippines. A 6-month closure has been announced for the popular tourist destination of Boracay due to concerns that the island's beaches and waters have turned into a quote-unquote cesspool due to sustained environmental damage.
So these 6 months, just to emphasize, these 6 months is a maximum period. We can shorten the closure depending on the progress of the rehabilitation efforts to be.
Boracay is home to as many as 17,000 people, many of whom are directly engaged in the tourism industry. Calamity funds will provide financial relief to those affected by the shutdown. Lawmakers begin to take action on measures affecting education funding today as Oklahoma teachers pack the state capitol for the 5th consecutive day of walkouts. More than 55 of the state's 500-plus school districts were closed today due to walkouts by Oklahoma teachers who say more spending on education is needed. These teachers saw some changes being made today as the state Senate passed a bill taxing sales from Amazon and other retailers, which is expected to provide an extra $20 million in education funding. Despite these changes, teachers continue to push for more, including a separate tax bill on gambling. There is no word from the Senate on further tax bills.
Well, today was a little wet and rainy outside, but maybe it will clear up before this weekend.
I hope so. I'm very over the rain. I sure hope so, but Liddy Crocker will let you know in her extended forecast coming up next on Stormwatch.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Good evening, Rebels. Happy Friday and welcome back to Stormwatch. Our current temperature is a cool 52 degrees with winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour and the thunderstorms are continuing. So make sure to grab a raincoat or umbrella before you head out today. Moving forward to our satellite image, we do see the rain moving through Oxford and that will continue into tomorrow. Our current temperatures in the surrounding areas are in the lower to upper 50s, 52 here in Oxford, 53 in Holly Springs, 54 in South Haven and Corinth, and 57 in Tupelo.
Tomorrow's temperatures in the surrounding areas are in the mid to upper 40s, 45 in South Haven and Holly Springs, 46 in Corinth, 46 here in Oxford, and 47 in Tupelo. Tonight's temperature is a cool 52 degrees. The thunderstorms continuing still with winds at 5 miles per hour, so make sure to plan accordingly if you have outdoor plans tonight. Tomorrow's forecast is 46 degrees with winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour and a 50% chance of rain, so it will be a rainy weekend. Moving forward to our 5-day forecast, we see the temperatures in the upper 50s to upper 70s at the later part of the week with a 20% chance of rain on Monday. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Libby. The baseball team is riding its hottest start since 2004. But see what might halt that streak tonight.
And UFC star Conor McGregor got stripped of a title yesterday, but he could potentially lose more after his latest outburst. Find out next on Sports Watch.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I bought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome to Friday's edition of Sports Watch. I'm Maddie Bierster. Not such a happy Friday for Ole Miss baseball, however, as their game against Mississippi State was postponed till tomorrow. Traveling to Starkville this weekend will add to the longest-running SEC baseball series dating back to 1893. The Rebels and the Diamond Dogs will play 2 games on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. Mississippi State does hold a 250 to 206 advantage over the Rebels, but hopefully the Rebels can pull out this win this rainy weekend, as the last meeting between the two did result in a Bulldog victory, 4-0. Tune in on Saturday at noon for more. Switching to the tennis court, the number 9 women's tennis team took down the 7-seed Georgia in the top 10 showdown last night. The Rebels began that matchup by capturing a huge doubles point with a pair of 6-4 wins on 2 of the courts, and standout Anna Verbinska rallied to win a 3-set match to seal that win over Georgia, 4-3 in the end. This makes it the 5th straight win for the Rebels and takes them up to 16-5 and 7-4 in the SEC. Next up for the Rebels, they'll welcome Tennessee Saturday at Senior Day at 10 a.m. The first 100 fans will receive a free Ole Miss t-shirt. Now for the golf fans out there, the Masters had their first day at the Augusta National Golf Club yesterday. Jordan Spieth led the day shooting a 6-under, and other notable favorites like Tiger Woods made his appearance as well, but shot a 1-over for the day. Patrick Reed is currently in the lead as of now, and Tiger Woods, however, the 5th picked favorite of the win, has a lot of catching up to do as he finds himself
one above the cut line with a +4 for the day. The cut line ends today and the tournament will end on Sunday. As you probably heard, UFC star Conor McGregor was the center of the media yesterday. He damaged a bus and injured 2 other fighters in the process. One of the injured was UFC fighter Michael Chiesa, who was set to fight Anthony Pettis on Saturday, but instead was taken to the hospital with several cuts on his face from the broken bus window. 2 other fights were also canceled because of the incident. McGregor did post that $50,000 bond after he was charged with 3 misdemeanors of assault and 1 felony count of criminal mischief. UFC President Dana White says McGregor's career in the UFC might be in jeopardy after this incident, and his court date is set for June 14th. That's all for sports today. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at @NewsWatch_UM. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Maddie. Coming up, find out which pet got the spotlight in this week's furry feature.
Stay tuned. There's more NewsWatch when we return.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Meet Ron. Ron is a 2-year-old Border Collie mix. This lively companion will be the perfect dog to provide company to an active household. Ron is currently at the Oxford Shelter location and is up for either foster or adoption. So if you aren't yet sure about fully committing to a furry companion, consider fostering with the shelter. Fostering shelter animals provides a necessary socialization needed for adoption, so any grown cat or dog is available to foster, as long as they have been fixed beforehand. To either adopt or foster an animal from the Oxford Lafayette Humane Society, visit oxfordpets.com and make sure to check out their Facebook page, Oxford Lafayette Humane Society, and their Instagram page, Oxford Pets. Grayson Ashmore, NewsWatch, Ole Miss.
So are we going to be walking our dogs outside this weekend?
Sadly, there will be a lot of rain this weekend, but beautiful warm temperatures next week.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm so over it.
Me too.
Thanks, Libby.
That's all we have for tonight. Thank you for tuning in to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Brittany Brown.
Be sure to catch us here again on air at 5 and on our Facebook live stream. You can also find our show on hottitoddy.com. I'm Courtney Camp. Thank you and good night.